Alrighty, it's over Tyler here, and we're back with more poetry. Today is, we're gonna do A Hat in Time. Another favorite game. This was a Modern Age, was made a few years ago. It's really highly inspired by Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie, on the N64, the Nintendo 64. Literally, it's a modern day Nintendo 64 game. It's as good as the old games in the N64 that I hold a special place in my heart. So, when I started playing it, I was like, it just pays so much homage. It feels so good. I highly recommend it. If you like old 3D platformers from the N64, you will love that game. It is awesome. So, and also today I'm wearing my father's hat that he wore at his wedding. So, anybody wants to know where I got the fancy hat, it's perfect because it's A Hat in Time. Hat Kid wears a top hat, and this is the only one that I have. Well, it's not a top. I guess you call it a top hat. I was expecting one of it to be taller, but this is, again, this is what my father wore at his wedding. And why I have it, and why my mother doesn't have it. My father passed away when I was 3 years old. So, he died from rabies. He got bit by a bat or scratched. We don't really know. So, and it was back in, it was back in 1997 that he passed away. They didn't know, the doctors didn't know what they were dealing with, because rabies was such a rare case. So, and he passed away from it, so. And the reason why I'm up in Maine is because I moved to Maine because of my stepfather. So I wouldn't be sitting in this spot right now if it wasn't my father dying. And rest his very soul wherever he's at. So, and I really wish he didn't have to go. I didn't remember anything about him. I was only 3. I didn't have no memory at all of him. So it's a good thing that my grandfather and people did recordings of him. And basically showing him how he was as a person. And with his voice and all that. So basically, for me, I can watch it. Well, they're on VHSs, and they have them in New Jersey. That's where I'm originally from. So, whenever I watch them, I literally kind of get to know him better, even if it's not like me physically embracing him. So I know he's still around. He always watches over me. I already know that. So I'm very grateful he's always around. He's a very loving and caring guy. He's basically as good and funny and charming and pure as hard as I am. So wherever he's at, again, rest in peace, Daddy. Wherever you're at. Okay, we're gonna start with the first character, which is my favorite character, and it's also the main character, is Hat Kid. That's her name. She doesn't have, no other name besides, okay, that's what she's called. Come on, come. So, okay, for Hat Kid. Small, powerful girl, magic with hats, like a cat. Mario, jump dive. She literally has the, well, people even call it in the, Yakuza Metro DLC. She's called a cat by the fellow residents. It's literally, that DLC is all around cats. Everybody there, it's an underground city that's run by cats. And they're everywhere. And she's literally, again, she even has, the cat eyes. She almost looks like Wind Waker Link. And also the expression, highly inspired by the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Really, it almost, looks like a cat if it was a human. And you even get cat ears and a cat outfit in the Yakuza Metro DLC, just to add to that. And she's extremely agile and nimble, and her movements are just like Mario from Mario 64. She can run around, she can dive on the ground in midair. She can also run up walls, just like Cat Mario can. When you hit the wall, she just runs up it. So, it's literally, she's basically a cat, basically. She's an alien from outer space. So, that just basically crashed down on the planet that she has to go collect timepieces because the timepieces got sucked out of her ship, and she had to go get them back for her to get back to her home. That's where she was just flying across the planet where the game takes place, just trying to go back to her home, and then the timepieces got out. So, and she has to go get them back to go back home. So, and the next thing would be, I'm trying to think if I'll do Subcon Forest, which is my favorite area in the game. It's literally a haunted forest with spooky music. It's basically death everywhere, but I like the horror theme and dark aesthetic and dark atmosphere things. I've always been attuned to dark things, gothic, supernatural things. So, it's a great area. It is, again, it is like a pure horror area, so be warned about that. The game, it has cel-shaded graphics, like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, but it has a lot of dark themes that are hiding in the game. You're like, oh, it's all bright and colorful, it's all nice and happy. It's disguised as that. You play it, you see what I find out. You find out. Can't speak. I can't speak. Alright. Subcon Forest. Spooky Forest. Death. Home of Snatcher and spirits. Horror everywhere. Did I already explain that? We're going to talk about the Snatcher. So we're gonna I guess we could do this backstory first. Like, he writes contracts and try to steal people's soul. He seemed like a bad guy at first, but his backstory it's pretty sad, and why he became like that. It wasn't his fault. So let me just read the lore. Gotta know the lore of this land, and Happy Souls and Dark Souls too. Yeah, go right ahead. According to Subcon Forest storybook and journal entries in Queen Vanessa's manor, the Snatcher was once a lawyer who served Queen Vanessa of the Kingdom of Subcon Forest. Vanessa fell in love with the lawyer, viewing and preferring him as her prince, and the two lived happily together. Over time, Vanessa's obsession with her prince grew uncontrollably unhealthy and jealous when he spent much time away at law school. But nonetheless, he still loved her back and wrote her frequent letters. Things came to a head one day when she discovered her prince with another girl, which was actually a flower girl who was merely selling him a bundle of flowers he was buying for Vanessa, mistaking it for an affair. Consumed by hatred in her heart, Vanessa imprisoned her prince within her wine cellar as punishment for leaving her. Freaking bone. Where her magic and abuse eventually transformed the man into the Snatcher. After escaping the manor, the Snatcher rallied the other people transformed into shadowy monsters and spirits by Vanessa, with contracts so they can one day restore the forest that Vanessa destroyed, offering them bodies from dolls. So, again, his story is pretty sad. So he became like the way he is because of the torture he basically went through. So he's a cool character. He's a charming character, but even if he tries to steal your soul when you first meet him. So, Snatcher loves contract making. Was once a great prince, now dead. Sinister from pain. So that's all I'm going to do for this video. The music that's playing is the Subcon Forest music. At least when you're on the path towards the objective, like this is the music that's playing. When you start wandering around the forest, the music becomes more eerier, just to add to the horror theme of it. So I think it's really awesome how this changes in the soundtrack depending where you're at in the level. Like, just even if you're just walking from one path to another, it completely changes it. So, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day and a great night. Bye-bye.